Yeah, so the three of you are going to be in Port Thrana, which is down here in the southeast.
Mm.
And it's a port, like you expect. There's lots of trade, ships coming in, loading up. And you guys are going to be in or around a tavern called the Big Door. And it's called the Big Door because it's taken a loading bay door off of one of the galleys, and it's used that as like this overhang on the front of the building. Like the whole front of the building is just like lifted up in a hinge and then supported by chains and some pillars. Sitting underneath that is 4 picnic benches. There's another 6 picnic benches inside the place, and that's where everyone like drinks and eats and stuff. It's a portside tavern. It's full of old sailors and pirates and such, so it's very rowdy, rambunctious. There's a lot of swearing and spitting going on. And this is where you guys are in and around at this point of time in the day. So, do your characters know each other already?
Perhaps, maybe perhaps not.
Perhaps.
Stokes, do you want to introduce Lucinda and just describe what she looks like?
So Lucinda is a kitsune. So she's basically someone who can look human but can transform into a fox form. At the moment, she's in her humanoid form, so she does have the fox ears, which are white, but she has long blonde hair that goes basically down to her waist. She tends to draw attention because she, like all kitsune, are very, very beautiful and fair of face. As for what she's wearing a lovely pink robe with a white dress underneath, and the robe is embroidered with patterns of nature that you would come across in a forest, so leaves and trees, and that is embroidered onto silk.
So I imagine she's quite like finely dressed compared to a lot of the people in this sort of area at this point.
She is very finely dressed. She knows how to carry herself.
Okay, and right now, in or around this tavern, what is it that she's doing here?
She's having a drink.
And her spirit, the Hellhound, is he tucked away somewhere at this point in time?
He's been made smaller, and he's currently napping at her feet, ready to jump into action if she calls for it. And the way he looks is that his body is massive, furry, very, very soft. But the face is one of a skull with glowing red eyes. And if I had to describe a species from our world to describe her hellhound, it would be a black German shepherd.
And he's just small in size just now to remain hidden. He's not like invisible or anything like that.
He's the size of a German shepherd. And his name is Emperor Tango Mango.
Alright, so I mean, I imagine then that's probably why you can sit in a place like this and feel like no one's going to bother you, because you've got this hellhound sitting at your feet with a rather fearsome looking face.
Ale. She's sipping on a nice ale and is just enjoying her drink.
Okay, Elias, do you want to describe what you look like and what you're doing here?
So I think Elias, he's a relatively young, like blonde-haired human. So relatively normal looking, I suppose, compared to Kitsune. He's in like kind of beat up, but otherwise pretty plain clothes. The only like standout thing about his apparel is probably like he'd be wearing like a religious symbol and kind of like chain bracelets that look like reminiscent of kind of like cuffs, like something that it looks like they've been in some sort of self-imposed punishment or something like that.
a kind of sign of flagrancy.
Yes. And I think he'd be like positioned so that he was kind of in one corner of the pub, like, near enough to the entrance, and kind of like spying on the people that come in to see if any of them are kind of worth approaching. Like he's looking a bit shifty.
Right, okay. Okay, Delphina, do you want to give me a description of you and what you're doing there?
A very redhead, you know, common clothes with a very, very half-length cape. Very small, and she's probably there to try to figure out who knows about the big door.
When you say she's small, like what kind of height are you thinking?
Rome!
Okay, so what kind of height is a gnome?
Gnome is technically small.
So it's like,
so-
what, like knee height for a human being, something like that?
Yes.
So she's very small.
Yes.
And being so small, I mean, you're not going to be sitting in a normal chair, so I would suppose.
Yes.
You like sat in someone's knee, are you standing around, or are you sat on a table?
I'm sat on the table. With a very, very, like, stern, angry face.
Is this your mean face to keep people away so they don't bother you? And because
No,
it'd be easy to
no,
push
this is
her
the
out.
face that she always wears.
So she just always looks grumpy.
Yes. She always looks grumpy.
Is she also just sitting having a meal or a drink?
I am wondering how many trees it took to make this fucking house. But yeah, she's probably eating potatoes.
So she's unhappy that it's wooden furniture. Swindle, are you here
Oh,
now then?
also, go ahead.
No, on you go.
Also, just having a very interesting conversation with a rock.
Is this a rock of like pebble size that she's got with her, or what?
No, it's like, a small little rock. That's all I'm gonna say. Till we're ready.
How small is small? Small compared to you, or small compared to everyone else?
If she would have grabbed it, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna say a baseball.
So for you, it's pretty large, but for
Yes.
anyone else, it'd be palm sized.
Yeah.
You there, Swindle? You ready?
Yep, I'm good to go.
So I described they're in Port Thrana and they're at the Big Door Tavern. So do you want to give us a description of what is it? Croark? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Croark.
Do you want to give a description of Croark and what he's doing there at the tavern just now?
Well, he is a very small goblin, about like maybe 3 feet tall. Dressed probably like he almost looks like a child, like in a pirate costume, but like the clothes actually look like they're proper, like they fit him. Has a nice big hat on with a bright red feather sticking out of the top of it. Green, typical green skin, big ears, incredibly insane smile, full of sharp teeth. One of them are golden, and he has a bit of a scar across his left eye and kind of down across his face.
I mean, apart from his size, then he's quite menacing looking.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for his size, he'd probably be very menacing looking. But because he's so small, it's like, yeah, if it probably wouldn't look too out of He probably wouldn't. He probably would have to actually like, try to intimidate someone bigger than him.
And what's he doing there? Is he doing anything particular, or is he also just there for a drink?
He's. If he's asked, he's in the market for a ship and a crew. But probably isn't taken too seriously, especially since he doesn't appear to have very much money at all.
All right. So as well as yourselves, then there's a number, like I said, there's sailors and obviously like pirates sitting around there. You can tell the pirates because they're covered in scars and they always smell kind of bad. Most of the people here are human, various like sizes and ethnicities. The only one that really kind of stands out is there's a small group of humanoid frog people sat in one corner, 3 of them, and everyone else is like actively avoiding them, and they're kind of like croaking to each other and whatever strange language they have, but they're also decked in a singular kind of uniform which depicts them as sailors of some sort. I'm thinking it's sort of early evening at this point, so the sun is still up. But it's starting to get busier and people have had a few drinks during the day now and it's getting a bit louder and the singing started and such. But that scene is broken when there's a large sound of like an explosion in the distance, almost like cannon fire. And the talking and the chattering and the singing in the tavern kind of goes quiet for a moment and everyone gives each other sort of side eyes, shifty eyes.
Delphina, swallows her half of a potato and goes to the bartender. You! Hold on to Peter. And she points at the rock, and then she goes out.
And because his Lucy is sitting right next to this, she turns and is just like, what?
So the bartender's this large, square set kind of man with a long black hair and a furrowed brow called Marlowe. And he just kind of like stops cleaning the glass that he's cleaning and looks at the rock on the bar for a second. The ground starts to shake, slowly at first, but more and more intensity gathers over the next few moments. Cups and cutlery start falling off the tables. People who are standing at the bar are like clutching onto it to maintain their balance. The whole building starts to like shake and cracks begin to form in the walls.
The sound of cannon fire, did I seem to like, would I recognize that as like the port's like defenses, or was that like somewhere else shooting at us, or
And because you are experienced, to you it didn't quite sound like cannon fire. It sounded like something far more distant.
So it just sounded like an explosion. Okay.
It's a very like earthy, bassy kind of explosion. Like you could feel it as much as you heard it. The intensity of the tremors gets worse. Anyone who's like standing is going to like struggle to stay on their feet.
What about those who are sitting on bar stools?
Yes, I mean you'll be like clutching onto the table. The chairs are going to start rocking backwards and forwards. Dust and tiles and cladding from the sides of the walls and the ceiling begin to fall. People start to panic. There's like cries and yells, and people start to abandon their chairs and try to crawl and run for the exit.
Emperor Tango Mango is going to enlarge in size, and Lucinda is going to jump on his back, and he's going to teleport out of there.
I think the sight of the Hellhound increasing in size alone is enough to cause more panic. And people a throng of people will just surge forward out of the bar to try and get outdoors. As you come outside, the whole place is shaking. Cracks are forming in the ground. The ocean itself is like slopping side to side. Ships are being like pulled up in big surges of water, and then one of the larger merchant ships comes crashing down on one of the piers, smashing it, obliterating it completely.
Oh shit.
What are the rest of you doing?
Well, I'm outside, so I see her. I'm just whoa.
I mean, Kroak definitely is not going to stay in the bar and is definitely going to try to see what's happening. However, if there are any abandoned coin purses, or even just, a collection of coins on a table, he's going to try to make a swipe for that in the chaos on his way out the door.
I don't think on
Or
the
at least out the
table,
window.
but maybe as people are running, they're like knocking things over, and someone like drops some coins, and they're all like ringing and chittering and spinning on the ground.
Yeah, I'll just try to quickly, like I said, on my way to like either a door or a window, he'll try to like scoop up as many as he can. But like, he's definitely not going to stick around to grab every single one. He's just going to like a quick swipe of his hands.
And what about you, Elias? What's your reaction?
Seeing everyone else running out, and as he like tries to regain his balance, like stand to his feet, he'll shout to the barkeep, like, assuming the barkeep's still there. Actually, has he fled too?
No, he's not fled. He's like trying to hold up all the bottles and glasses behind the bar to try and stop them, and he's failing to do so. As one by one, they kind of like are just vibrated off the shelf and smash on the floor.
Yeah, it's just like halfway through the door, Elias turns back and goes, "Barkeep, did you recognize that creature that just left? Is it to do with the earthquakes?"
Like, no need to panic, everyone. I'm sure it'll all stop any moment now.
Is this
You s-
regular?
You still need to pay for your drinks.
And Elias, remembering that he hasn't paid for his, just slips out of the door.
Nearly tripping over the goblin who's on his hands and knees picking up coins.
Oi, watch it!
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you though.
As you
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
As you are outside, the sky clouds over. The clouds are moving at unrecognisable speed. They're spreading out and filling up the sky. It becomes darker, and then they go from a dark shade of dark grey into scarlet red. And the sound of this massive roar just like echoes out across the world. And the clouds in the sky form into a massive, unmistakable shape of a reptile's face.
Lucinda isn't paying attention to this. Instead, she's scratching Emperor Tango Mango's head and just going, "Oh, you're such a good girl."
Tango Mango is visibly agitated.
She scratches her head even more.
Yeah, there's a kind of whimpering almost from your hellhound. It's not comfortable with whatever's happening right now.
And with that, Lucinda looks up and is like, "Oh. Oh, wow."
What were you saying, God?
Oh, I was just role playing. Oh, that's not good.
As this massive roar goes out and everyone looks to the sky and sees this massive reptilian head, the tremors, the earthquake subsides, the ocean calms, and the clouds thin and dissipate back to clear sky, and everything goes back to normal as it was a moment ago.
Okay, I go back into the bar.
The massive door, which gives the bar its name, has collapsed at the front. The pillars have given way, and it's like slammed shut and obliterated the picnic tables underneath. Inside the building, everything has been knocked over, smashed. There's like a hole in the ceiling. The bartender is frantically running up and down, trying to like pick things up and fix them.
Okay, so I run up to the barkeep and get Peter and put him in my pocket, and I help the barkeep in my pouch.
Yes, you pick up your pet rock. No one's touched it.
Lucinda and Emperor Tango Mango teleport back into the bar, and Lucinda on her has a very, very fine gold bag that is ornately decorated. It's old, it's pretty old, and it's got a lot of sentimental value as well as material value. And out of it, she draws a big chunk of meat and feeds it to Emperor Tango Mango.
Yes, that somewhat calms your killhound as it chomps down on the flesh meat. Elias, from outside, you can see that like half of the port's buildings have like collapsed. People are now, after the calmness, running over to the rubble to try and pull out survivors.
If there's anyone nearby that seems less panicked, Elias is gonna just approach them and ask, like, has this happened before?
An elderly man who is dressed in these very fine-looking silken garbs of a deep turquoise colour is kind of like lying covered in scratches and bleeding a little from the side of his face in amongst a bunch of crates that he's fallen into. He's surrounded by guardsmen wearing armour of the same kind of hue. One of them is pulling him up to his feet. The rest of them are like scouring around trying to pick up their comrades and help people.
Yeah, so he'll ask that of the guards. Are these sort of tremors common here?
What? No, this has never happened here before. They turn to the old man as they help him up and they're like, "Sire, are you okay?" The man's face looks pale white with fear. He says,
Excuse me, sir. Do you know what that was in the sky? I just got out of the bar, so I didn't quite see it.
"It's the end of the world, my son." And he turns to the guards that are helping him. He says, "Leave the goods. Ready the ship. We must leave now."
Wait, if the world's ending, where are you going to go?
As far away from here as we can.
Well, what of the rest of us?
I'm sorry, my son. You'll have to find your own way. He says, "Quickly now," and he barks to the other guards. And the two of them, somewhat confusedly and reluctantly, leave the stack of crate of goods that they had there that had fallen off a wagon that they were loading onto the ship and make their way towards another retinue of guards on one of the docks.
Elias is going to take a peek inside and see what the goods are.
Yeah, I mean, if you crack it open, it's like sacks of spices.
I take it the big. Sorry, go ahead.
Assuming that they are like not too like well packaged, he's just going to take a handful of them.
A handful of spice.
Yes. Spice are expensive, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to make a note here that you're all ready to just like steal things.
They left them behind. It's not stealing anymore. It's recovering.
So, Croark, what were you going to say?
I take it the big dragon face in the sky is no longer there, or is it still there?
No, it disappears with the clouds and it just goes back to normal.
Okay, yeah. Croark's definitely going to just kind of take a moment to just stare blankly at the sky, and then look around and be like, "Was I the only one that saw that? There was a big dragon in the sky. Like, did I drink too much, or did
Yes,
everybody
I
else?"
also saw that. You're not alone in that.
Cool. Any ideas about what that was all about?
No, and Lucinda is scratching the Tango Mango's head in between his ears.
Cool. I have a sudden need to just not be here anymore, I think.
I mean, between the dragon face in the sky and the skull-faced hellhound of large in size next to you, yes, I can understand why you'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I have a very powerful need to be out of town at the moment, so I think I'm going to just kind of survey the port, see if there's any ships, or just kind of figure out, just kind of get my bearings on like what's going on around
So,
the.
yeah, one of the large merchant ships is smashed into one of the piers, destroying it completely, putting a big hole in the ship. There's lots of crates and goods just kind of floating in the water. There's another ship with a turquoise blue flag with some golden stars on it, and they look as if they're gearing up to set sail ASAP. And then there's a man with chains around his wrists, sort of like filling his pockets with something out of a crate that's beside him. Everyone else is running around to help people from the rubble, from the fallen buildings. You can hear bells ringing, you can see fires being put out. And then there's a lot of like fishing vessels, and a lot of them are kind of like being lifted up and then smashed over the top of each other.
Right. Well, in that case, I will head over to the gentleman filling his pockets, and I'll just be like, "That's a great idea. You need to definitely make some room," and I'll like just help scoop out a bunch of the spices, and then try to like burrow inside of it and hide in the box.
Upon the creature like entering the space, Elias just kind of like recoils and goes off. Well, I'm not going to take any more of that. Are you all right in there?
Yep. No. I'm just. Wow. Jeez, this is really not good for my sinuses.
Yeah.
No. I'm
It
just trying
really
to
goes
smuggle
for
my
the
way on
eyes
the
as
boat.
well. But watch out with that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to smuggle my way onto the boat. So thanks for your help.
Croak,
Oh,
can you
are
take
you saying?
sorry, Croak, can you take one harm from like breathing in space?
Yep.
Oh wait, how close would Lucinda be
Oh, I
to
mean,
them?
well, I mean, you said you teleported in, but then you were talking to him, so I'm supposing that you came back outside. And if you were close enough to talk to him, then you would have seen him go into the space.
I can help you get on the boat. Tango can help you get on the boat if you want, because he can teleport.
Just suddenly my big goblin head and hat just like pokes up from the spices and it's just like, well, why didn't you start with that?
I mean, just look at her. She's such a good girl, aren't you?
I mean, your dog looks a little bit sick, but sure.
Oh, not dog, hellhound.
Is that not a kind of dog?
I mean, technically, no. It's like saying that it's a wolf and a dog are the same thing, you know?
Just gonna turn to look at Elias and it's just like, aren't they the same thing?
I think they're the same thing.
Technically,
you
they
know-
are the same thing, but not really.
Did you know that foxes are the same thing?
I mean, four paws, tail, kind of barks. Yeah.
Not cats.
Yeah, no, cats are definitely different.
From the remains of the port's watchtower, the massive bell is being rang frantically. Da-ding, 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 da-ding. And yells and shouting are coming from the far end. Warnings and men pointing off to the ocean.
I would like to point or look where they're pointing at.
Yes, I mean, you know the sea well, and you can see the sea on the horizon doesn't look quite right. And then you notice how far out the water at the port has been drawn out.
Oh. Oh, okay. Like the
No.
water levels lowered?
Yes, as if the water's
No.
as if the tide is out.
But now that I think on it, isn't that where the dragon appeared? You know, towards the sea. So should we not be going away from that?
Yeah, for the first time in my life, I don't feel like the sea is going to be very welcoming. When you say that the horizon, the sea doesn't quite look right, does it look like it's a little bit higher over that way?
If you're trying to suggest it looks like a tsunami's incoming, you would be correct.
Oh, yeah, we need to not be anywhere near the water right now, actually. We need to go. We just need to go to high ground immediately.
I mean, I can help you out. Tango Man can go, and I am very happy to help.
Sure, yeah. You and your weird sick dog thing. Yeah, let's
Not
go.
sick. To the
I
back.
mean, the face looks very bony. That's beside the point. We need to get out of here.
My character's still helping the bartender, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, you're inside the bar helping out, picking things up. Some of the patrons have like kind of wandered back in. Some of the ones that tried to stay in the building, maybe because they're regulars and they know the bartender well, are there helping out, picking things up. One of them's grabbed like a brush and is trying to brush up the broken glass. Is you just being helpful? Is that just what you want to do?
Yeah. Do I find anything or?
Well, what, like what?
Well, I'm picking stuff up. Do I find anything on the ground or?
Anything of value, do you mean?
Yes, and no, I'm not going to steal it.
Yeah, people have dropped trinkets and coins and things that have fallen out of their pockets.
Oh. Someone dropped their coin. I just tap them. I'm like, hey, you dropped this.
Sorry, Glim, could you get a little closer to your mic?
The people who drop their coins, I just hand them back to them. I'm like, you dropped this. You dropped this. Here.
Yeah, and the bartender's just like, he puts like a dish on the table. He's like, if you find anything, just put it in there, and we'll try and sort it out.
Okay.
He stops and he like looks up at the roof where the hole has appeared. Okay, everyone, I'm going to need you to stand back and leave the building. This doesn't look safe, and you can see the large crack come down from the hole that works its way down the side of the building to the floor.
All right, gone. I go outside.
Yes, so the scene outside is, something of a chaos. There's people most people are like helping people in the rubble, picking up things that have like smashed and fallen over. But there's also a crowd of people who are kind of like pointing at the horizon. And then there's a section of people who are just running in the opposite direction of the ocean.
Hmm.
And then, of course, there's this giant skull-faced hellhound.
And the hellhound, I would say, is growling at him because a bit rude, saying that he looks sick when he's not.
Wait, do I see the big hellhound?
Oh yes, everyone can see it.
It's currently German Shepherd sized.
Oh.
I mean, he's got a skull face and glowing eyes. It's noticeable.
And also the goblin that's like half buried in a crate full of spice, waving his hands frantically and also pointing to the horizon.
With his nose
Okay,
running.
so Delphina approaches the big hellhound like, big hot doggy.
Oh, I know. Isn't she lovely?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the gravity of the situation isn't quite sitting in or sinking in so we need to like leave now. That is a big wave of water that's gonna crash down.
Oh, that's I can suggest hopping on her back.
We get to ride it?
Yeah.
You, green one. And I try to take him out.
Tango, do you mind if you increase your size? Thank you, darling. And Tango increases size so that three people can ride her.
What? Okay, so what else can Tango do?
Emperor Tango Mango is increasing in size so that people can ride on her back.
Okay, so what kind of size can he increase to?
I would say like biggest size that she can do is the size of a full-grown male elephant. So pretty big. But this size is about slightly bigger than a large Shire horse.
And it always has like a physical form. It's not like incorporeal.
Yeah, it's always physical.
Okay, so it's always got solidity to it. Alright. Sure, somewhat not alarmingly whatsoever, the hellhound increases in size. Probably to the size of like a horse, a small horse, that can accommodate the three of you.
It's not a small horse, it's the size of a large Shire horse.
Okay, it's a big horse.
Yeah, big horse, because Shires are massive.
Yes, anyone who wasn't running already is certainly running away from the area now.
Well, that
Can you
does
lie
make-
down?
Not a running.
Well,
that does make fewer people need a lift, I suppose.
Yes, and many of them will be pointing at the hellhound shouting, "Demon! Demon! It's come for us all!"
Hmm.
well,
Yeah.
technically she's a demon, but she's such a sweetheart, aren't you? And she squelches below Tango Mango's mouth.
So the demon's coming from the water.
Well, the demon is the hellhound.
Oh, that's what they're. Oh,
Yeah, it's not something you see every day.
everything's big to me.
That's true.
Yeah, Clark just dives out of the spice crate and just does that thing where like some kids will like sit and hold on to an adult's leg, but he like holds on to like the wolf's one of the hellhound's legs and just
What do you-
holds on tight.
What are you doing, Green One?
She's giving us a lift.
Oh, you can sit on her back, she won't mind.
I don't care, whatever gets us there faster. We need to go.
I would recommend sitting on her back because you might get kicked off.
Just go. I thought you said we could teleport. We need to get out of here. The wave's getting closer.
Yes, but sit on her back, okay?
Can I grab him, or try to?
Can you grab the goblin? I mean, he's probably a little bigger than you.
I actually am. If she's knee height, I'm 3 feet tall.
Yes,
Oh,
he's,
you strong.
he's like waist height.
Oh yeah. I could pick you up.
Have you drunk your milk?
And Elias is already putting space between himself and the dog. Like, no offense, but I trust my own feet a bit better than those of a dog named after Hell. She's rushing after the crowd that are also running away.
Oh well. If you don't want help, don't worry about it. And Lucinda is sitting on her back. Sitting on her hellhound's back.
Okay, so once you're all aboard the hellhound, I'm taking your running, fleeing away, teleporting, whatever.
Yeah, she's going to go to Tango Mango and she's like, I'll give you such a big treat if you can get us as far away as possible.
That sounds like a quick approach. So do you want to roll with your quick? You get 1 dice for every dot you have in quick.
Yeah. I've got 2, so that is 2d6.
Yep.
Okay. 2. 2d6.
Yeah, so that's going to be a fail unless you want to take stress and reroll.
I'm not gonna take stress just yet.
Yes, so Tango Mango, although loves treats and wants to be obedient and to please you in any way that she can, makes the motion of teleporting and nothing happens. And then there's a soft, uncomfortable whine from the poor hellhound. And he just looks back at you with those kind of sad puppy dog, glowing, fiery eyes. Disappointed that he's unable to do what you want him to do. And he starts to just like trot like a horse off in the direction.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay, girl. We'll do it next time, okay?
Looking back, Croark, you can see the wave gaining momentum and height. It is now halfway from the horizon towards you, and it is doubled in size.
Must go faster. Must go faster.
You do a quick
Okay.
sort of calculation in your head, Croark, of how fast you're moving and how fast it's moving, and you're like, we're not going to get out of here in time.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
this ain't.
Yeah. We might need to take shelter instead of running.
Tango, I don't think you can go any faster.
You stroke Tango Mango's mane, kick him at the side a little bit to urge him along, and he starts to gallop at a faster speed. But with the throngs of people and all the debris and rubble lying around, he's having to jump over things and maneuver around them and such. It's hindering the speed that he's moving at. So you're going at a fair pace, but you're not going any faster than someone who's just running and climbing over things. And before long, the shadow of the massive wave starts to cast over the port city. Port town. Hundreds and hundreds of people now have abandoned those that were left in the rubble and are fleeing for their lives. Some of them are trying to climb up on top of the remaining structures. Some of them are trying to just scrabble up the side of the fallen debris. And many more are just running for the small foothills that lie kind of north of the town.
Can I see if I can spot any sort of suitable shelter that might survive such a wave crashing down against it?
Sure, give me a clever roll.
I have 0 dots in that.
Or if this is something I should like to use.
Probably just quick. I'm probably gonna latch onto the first thing that seems to.
Sure, that seems fine. Yeah.
Okay, that I have 2 dice in.
So that's going to be a fail unless you want to take stress and reroll.
I will absolutely take stress because I want to live. And just re-roll 1 or both.
Take 1 dice and reroll. Actually, sorry, the way I've written it is you just roll another dice. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Yes, you spot someone has constructed what looks to be some sort of cellar with a stone door that you just pull across the top of it, like a massive slab. The building around it is all kind of collapsed, but there's a space in the center where the roof hasn't fallen, and you can see that the slab is still lying, sort of half open.
Yeah, Krark's going to immediately like point towards it and is like, just get us in there because like we're not outrunning it. We need to get in there and close the door.
All right, you heard them. Let's go.
Elias, you'll be able to see the hellhound for the size it is and the change in direction it makes. You've been able to keep a pace with it because you're just running on your feet.
And with no better idea where to go, I think I'll probably just follow after them.
Yes, you can see the looming wave now. You can hear the rushing of the water, the crashing of buildings and ships being overturned as it starts to hit the shoreline. As you dive for this, basically a hole in the ground with this big stone slab across it. There's like a small metal handle and some like rope attachments to it from the inside that you can like use to haul it across and close it. Who wants to try and close it in time?
Since Lucinda is writing no.
Krark will 100% try to hop off and attempt to close the door by himself, but like will not turn down help.
I'm going to join him.
Yeah. Elias rushing in after you is probably going to try and call some other people over to take cover before he helps hold it closed it.
Alright, Elias, do you want to roll clever then?
Oh, that's not good.
Or were you going for flashy to get their attention? It's going to be one of them.
I mean, he'd be trying to draw their attention, but
Okay, so flashy then.
I don't know if he's being particularly clever about it.
Yeah, so flashy.
It's more just like panic to try and save people.
Alright. So Delphina and Croark, who's got the better forceful?
I have 2.
I have 0. But I'm also just trying to be as quick as possible, so I mean, if you want to count that.
Okay, Delphina, so you're going to have 2 dice, and then you're going to have an extra 2 dice from Croark helping you. And then for a handful of other civilians that run down to help. Because Elias has got their attention and called them in as well.
Oh shit, alright.
So you will have 4 dice.
Will that do?
That's perfectly good enough. Yes, you heave and you like manage to pull the slab over, scraping it across, and it slams shut on top of you, leaving you all enveloped in darkness in this cellar. And moments later, you can just hear the weight of the water smashing down on the ground, and like seawater starts to just like seep through the cracks in the rocks above. But it's a very, slow sort of dribble of seawater. It's not going to fill up anytime soon. But you can just
Wait,
hear...
you say rocks?
Yeah, because it's like a stone door a stone slab you've pulled over.
Peter, tell your friends to shut up. You said rocks.
Yeah, you can hear the rushing of the water above, and then it's almost like a silence of a tomb.
I'd say that Emperor Tango Mango is whimpering at this, and Lucinda is comforting her.
It's like a flame glow from the dog.
Just like her eyes have suddenly become just a very, very calm blue.
Yes, and there's just a soft blue illumination, just giving you barely enough light to make out each other's shapes in the dark.
Krark's got his ear pressed up against the stone door and is just kind of trying to just listen, or at least try to feel if just to see what he can perceive, I guess.
I mean, you can feel the cold against the stone. There's water constantly dripping through the cracks, and you can't hear anything above. You can't hear any people. You can't hear any birds. It's just like silent.
I've got really good hearing as kids, can I hear anything myself?
You can definitely hear like the rumble of water. It's unmistakable above you.
You can hear Elias muttering, I swear if it's flooded then we're stuck in here.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing.
No, you said something. I heard you.
I just thought we might be stuck in here.
Well, we're stuck until the water goes back. But at the very least, we're not crushed to death under all the weight of that wave.
One of the persons that's joined you in the basement strikes up a match to try and light the room. You can see there's some barrels on the ground, some bottles stacked up against one wall, and like a cellar door in the far corner in the floor. A trap door.
Ooh, what's in there?
Elias suddenly turns to the hellhound and goes, "Wait a moment, didn't you say that thing could teleport? Why are you still here?"
Sorry, can you say that again?
Elias is like, "Didn't you say that thing can teleport? Why are you still here?"
I mean, why not? This is interesting, isn't it? And also, I'm pretty sure she is exhausted. She wasn't able to teleport earlier.
The hellhound just like starts licking its paw.
And Lucinda is scratching her neck.
Elias just sighs and goes, "I thought we could use a scout for the surface, but fair enough." And he just goes around the cellar door.
The cell door itself is old and wooden with sort of rusted iron hatches. Or hinges, rather.
Is it locked or?
You grab it with one hand and give it a heave, and it's very heavy.
Allow me.
You grab it with both arms and heave it. It's very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want, you can roll your forceful dice to lift it.
Huh?
Yeah, so the first time you like lift it up and it falls back with the weight, but the second time you kind of like just heave it with all your might and flip it up and over, and it crashes or lands on the, opens up, and creates a big cloud of dust around you.
Open.
The smell is fetid, rotten.
Ooh, that's a bad smell.
Is there any way I can see inside what might be causing that smell?
Don't know, do you have a light source of some sort?
Oh, I was also thinking maybe goblin dark sight or dark vision.
Dark sight. Sounds better.
Sure, so you have like a kind of low light vision, and there is something of a light source, so yeah, you can see there's like a ladder that descends.
Does it just like go so far that it disappears beyond my vision, or?
Yeah, there's a little bit of light here because of the glow from the hellhound, but if that's all the light you have, it's not going to allow you to see very far.
Well, I mean, there might be a way out from here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it some place that's quite small to get into?
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I'm not saying anything. It's just that is it quite? I'm asking the DM this specifically. Is it quite a small gap?
I mean, it's what you imagine a trapdoor to be. It's a normal sized human being could like get down around a ladder and descend quite comfortably.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're talking about is it a tight confined space, then yes, it is.
Okay. Lucinda goes, I have an idea. And that idea is me going down there and having a look through. I can see in the dark. I can. Well, let me just say this. This isn't what I look like 100% of the time.
Sure.
Perfect. So Lucinda is gonna go down the trapdoor, and when she gets to the bottom, she's going to go into her white fox form with little. And the way she looks as a white fox is that she has little black hinges, like edges over her ears, and slight black on her nose.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have the same kind of low light as the goblins. So when you get to the bottom, you can see the area immediately around you, maybe 10 feet or so, illuminated from the top. But more so, your sense of smell is far more acute when you're in fox form. And
And
As well as sense of hearing.
you're overpowered with the smell of rotten flesh and bodies in decomposition. The floor here is sludgy and slimy and damp.
Well, I wouldn't recommend coming down here.
Yeah,
Well,
Clark descends anyways.
I'm coming down also.
No, don't. It's fairly disgusting.
So, here's the thing. We saw you morph, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Dark.
Yes.
I shapeshift into what she shapeshift into.
Okay,
fox.
yes, you also turn into a little white fox.
Yep, it's bad down here, all right.
Krork doesn't shapeshift, but he does pull out his cutlass and just kind of like tries to scout on ahead or try to see what he can see.
Sure, it's a small rectangular room. It's not more than like 10, 15 feet in any direction. And there's a kind of rocky... well, there's the rock wall all around it, and then someone has like cut or mined a hole, a passageway that you'd have to like sidle through, side on, to fit through. And in that direction, the smell is worse.
Yeah, Krork will try to squeeze through the hole and see again, just kind of see what he can see.
And back at the top of the ladder, Elias is getting tired of waiting and just goes like, a good grief, and then lights a torch. It climbs down with you.
Yeah, so just mark off on your supplies. The people at the top there that came in with you are kind of murmuring between themselves if they want to go or not. But after some consideration, they will also follow you. All four of them will follow you guys down the ladder. Krork, you're quite small. You can fit through this passage, this crevice, easily enough. It quickly becomes apparent to you that, this is not something that's just natural. Someone has definitely carved this through the stone here. And after a few meters, it kind of opens up into a natural cave passage.
Huh.
Off to the left-hand side, the cave passage just drops like a shaft, and that is where the smell is coming from. It's like a pit of just like dead bodies that have been left there to rot.
Like people or animals?
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Oh my, okay.
Because the smell is so strong here, Lucinda recoils from it.
Oh god.
Meanwhile, Krork is just completely unbothered.
How are you unbothered? It's unbearable.
Yes, green one. What is this? Oh, oh.
I mean,
Elias,
it's a dead body. You get used to it.
yeah, Elias kind of tries to keep some of the villagers back and just asks them, like, what is this place? Are any of you familiar with tunnels beneath the cellars?
They'll look at each other, and then they look at you like wide-eyed with fear. They're like, "We thought you would know. You're the one that brought us here."
But I'm not from here. Aren't you residents?
No, but why the hell are we even down here?
Would you rather be in the floods?
And they're like looking at the death pits, and then like looking back the way they came, clearly considering their options.
I won't stop you. Go ahead.
No, this is not normal. We didn't know this was here.
Who owned that building above us?
Three of them are just like shrugging their shoulders. No idea at all. The other one, who's a young man, he looks like quite well dressed. He looks like the type of chap that would be able to read and write proficiently. He says, "But this is the guild house. This was the wine store."
What?
Huh?
Would there be any?
Yeah, there's bottles
there
of wine
be
up.
any-
There's bottles of wine in the basement when you come in.
Hmm.
How can you still be in the mood for drink?
I mean, gotta pass the time somehow.
Is there any other like tunnels or passageways?
Oh yes, there's
around?
many like kind of. As it's a natural cave system, so there's bits you have to crawl through, silo through, crawl over, going in all kind of different directions. All of it's very random and uneven looking.
I think if we can, we should probably head away from the sea.
Yeah, let's. Probably far fetched, but is there any way I can tell like cause of death of some of the corpses,
If you
and
want
if they
to,
look like they've just been like purposely placed there?
sure. I mean, if you want to climb down into the pit, using something, you could have a look around and try to determine the cause of death.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take my time with it. I'm just gonna like quickly, quickly see if there's any like wounds or anything like that, or
So how are you getting down into the pit?
yeah, I jump. I jump and I try to land on the pile.
Well, that's definitely not clever. Go for forceful
No.
because you're just blind
Yeah.
going for it.
Sure, fuck it. I mean, I don't have any dots in forceful,
Oh,
but
so
yeah,
two
I'll
dice
go
and you
for
pick
it.
the worst then. Unless there's something else
Oh.
you were going for.
No, well, I mean, just at the risk of sounding like a broken record, quick, just because it gets there quicker. But but I'll go ahead and do forceful, because why not? Oh, okay. Well, here we are.
Yes, you land head first in a pile of rotting bodies and flesh.
Yeah, get fucked.
So
Sorry.
you're going to take a harm.
Second harm. Okay.
We see this, right?
Oh, yeah. And you'll hear it as well, the kind of slosh.
And
What was that?
Are you okay?
Yep.
Nose
What's
full
down there?
nose full of spice, mouth full of rotten flesh.
Oh,
The perfect combination. How to attract any girl.
Well, Okay, so I mean, now that I'm here,
Yes, if you want to go for a quick look around, you can do that, or you can take your time. Be careful.
Nah, I'll be quick. I just the whatever corpse I've just landed on. Just try to at least identify what killed it, and then quickly find a way. Yeah, see if there's any like tunnels or passageways through here, particularly ones that look well traveled.
Sure. So the corpse is in such a decayed state that it's hard for you to tell unless you want to take a stressing roll on our dice. And that would involve, getting your hands right into the pile there to try to find something that you can actually determine.
Fair enough. I'll take a stress. Fuck it.
Yes, there's a much fresher corpse underneath. A young man, again, and he looks as if he was quite well dressed, actually, except now his clothes are bloodied and tattered. And he's clearly had his throat slit. And judging by the colour of the skin, it looks as though he's been drained of blood.
Okay, and if are there any passages that lead like directly to this pile? From different from where I just came from,
So
but
on the opposite side of the pit from where you jumped down, it's not a ladder as such, but there are clear like handholds for climbing out.
Okay.
And if you climbed out at the top of that, there is a passage, yes.
I will do that then.
You climb out of the pit on the opposite side from everyone else. They are standing across the pit from you. You'd all have to go across somehow or down and up again to join him. And you're over there without the torch. So if you were to go, you can see into the passage some way. This one looks a lot more like structured. There's signs that pillars have been propped up to kind of hold the ceiling.
I think it's best if we kept our eyes open. I don't think we're gonna be alone in these tunnels, and I don't think if we are indeed not alone, I don't think they're gonna be very friendly, because at least one of those corpses had their throats slit. So, not exactly an accident.
I think Lucinda, as a warlock and someone with magical talents, you can feel that there's like the wisps of magical energy in here.
I feel wisps of magical energy in here.
So good.
You gotta admit that's funny.
Okay. Okay, Care. I don't feel anything, and
You don't feel the wisps of magical energy as well?
no, I don't. But Greg over there is giving me some evil vibes. Points to the rock.
It's a rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what that nauseated feeling is in my stomach?
Maybe.
I don't like this magical energy then. And Elias checks to see if the civilians that followed us are acting shady. Don't want any of them pulling a knife on us.
No, they seem very sort of docile. Obviously, like standing as if they're like just hoping the situation's going to improve.
Well, is there another way across this pit, or do we need to go down? And Elias asks it aloud.
See the steep walls on either side of the pit. You're either jumping across it, which it's a long jump, or you're going down there and up again.
But if no one has any brighter ideas, then he'll try and look for footholds.
I'm gonna go back and check on Tango Mango.
I mean, I guess the hellhound, even though it's a hellhound and not a regular dog, it still doesn't enjoy the smell of rotten flesh all that much. Or at least there's
Yeah.
something about the area that is making it reluctant to kind of get stuck in there.
Yeah. Tango Mango, I'm imagining, is back where we came in, so Lucinda is going to go back to there.
Yeah, you can see now that the water is like it's dripping in at an accelerated rate.
Ooh, that doesn't look good. Tango, can you come over here, please?
It just gives you that sad, fiery puppy dog look.
Oh, I can't say no to that look. I'll stay here until the others get back, okay? And she goes back into her humanoid form, but this time because she's a kitsune, she has more than one tail. She has about 4 or 5.
Of course.
She's because kitsune.
Yeah.
She has her ears and tails out.
Yeah, so Elias will pass the torch to whoever's willing to take it, and he's going to try and climb down into the pit. Failing that, I guess I'll have to drop.
Yeah. The older woman of the civilians that came with you, she's dressed in a very ordinary kind of garb. Maybe she's like a servant or a housemaid of some sort. And she takes the torch and just holds it and gives you a nod.
And will I be able to scale both walls, or will I roll for something?
Give me a careful, I would think, if you're trying to climb down there.
Like this. Oh, that's not good.
Do you want to take stress for another dice roll?
I think I'll try that, yeah.
Yeah,
That's much
that's
better.
much better. Yes, you're able to scale down the wall. There is indeed holds that you can use. You get to the bottom and your feet kind of sink into the mush of the decaying flesh and the sludge that's resulted from that's already kind of decayed away. You also notice all the fungus that's kind of growing down here around the edges.
It just, even though it's kind of meaningless, he holds his nose while he crosses the pit, and then starts going up the other side.
What about you, Dolphina? You want to get down there and dirty?
Of course I do. Boing.
Are you just holding your nose and jumping off?
Yep.
I think forceful if you're doing it that way. You've got 2 dice, so you should be fine anyway.
You said 4.
You've got forceful, you've got 2 dice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so 2 dice.
Three, 5.
But yes, I mean, you land with a bit of a bump, and because you're so small, you kind of sink into the pile somewhat. You're up to your neck in it, and you have to clamber your way out. But you don't hurt yourself when you go down there.
I'm melting. What a world.
And then there's something almost snake-like, kind of slithers out from one of the bodies, and then back into another body.
Hello? I talked to it.
It's just a soft, kind of sloppy sound.
Wonder how long you've been down here. Commune is pretty much talking to nature, right?
I'm thinking it's yeah.
So, snake, unless that's up to you.
Yeah, I guess you could stay there and go in a kind of meditative state and kind of try and talk to it and see if it'll speak to you. See if you've lived with the deep gnomes before, haven't you? And you talk to rocks and stuff, so you're like listening to the rocks as well, aren't you? And what the environment tells you.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly talk to rocks, sometimes animals.
Okay, so what do you want to ask it?
I asked how long it's been down here.
So the rocks around you tell you that they've been here since the world formed. They're ancient. But that's what rocks always tell you. They're kind of boring that way.
I'm like, typical.
The maggots and the decay and the fungus, the bacteria, I mean, all of that is telling you that some of these bodies have been down here for weeks or months. Others have been down here for mere hours or days.
Who's around me? Besides dead body?
Elias is down there with you.
Hey, this family here said that these bodies been around here for a long time, showing the maggots.
They're maggots. They can't be doing for that long.
But they said...
But you do know what maggots are, right? They turn into flies.
Yeah.
As you say that, Elias, you see like this large, pulpy, arm-sized thing kind of just like slinking between the flesh.
He just recoils back and goes, well, anyway, it doesn't matter how long they've been here. We're getting out.
Okay. And I put them down. Be free and eat dung.
And they'll wiggle their way back into the rotten flesh.
Just keep back a bit from me, will you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if he can climb up the wall.
Yeah, I mean, if you both want to go up the other side, you can just clamber up the side and join Croark, who is still standing at the entrance to this passageway. Again, you can both see right away that this passageway is like constructed rather than just like a natural cave. Although it's not, I mean, maybe Croark didn't notice much because he's only like 3 feet tall, but Elias, you would have to crouch to fit through this tunnel.
At least the construction might imply there's an exit.
I think
He shouts back across the gap to the civilians. I think there might be an exit over here. Tell the woman and her dog, like, that I don't know if we can see them from here, but yeah, I'll let her know as well.
Alright.
so. The young man that was with the civilians, he comes back the way to find Lucinda and Tangle Mangle and tell them that the others have gone on ahead across the pit. And they say that there's an exit.
And what Lucinda says is, I know it stinks in there, but come on, it'll be fine.
Begrudgingly, Tangle follows you. The civilians, one by one, lower themselves into the pit, make their way across it, and clamber up the other side. The last of them, an elderly gentleman, he kind of slips at the last step, getting into the pit, and falls onto his backside in amongst the muck. He lets out a yelp of surprise, and then just an exhalation of relief. And he turns to, get a better grip and push himself back onto his feet. And as he does so, something holds his wrist.
Huh?
And he lets out, kind of worried surprise He tugs at his arm. And he tugs at his arm a second time. And then he's pulled into the pile of flesh. And you can hear muffled screams from beneath the pile. The other civilians look down in horror.
Elias is going to jump back down into the pit and try and grab the guy to avenge him fee.
You want to roll with quick?
And do I hear anything coming down from the passageway at all, or just...
You don't hear anything, but you can smell something. It's almost like incense. Or maybe slight kind of sulfur sort of smell to it.
Okay.
Yeah, like you jump back down there, hurt your ankle a little bit, so you take 1 harm. You run over to the little guy, grab him around the waist, and you yank him out, and he's got this large leech-looking thing. It's like has his whole hand inside its mouth. The leech itself, when you pull him up, is about the length of his body.
Oh. I'm gonna shout up, like, toss down the torch.
I toss him a torch.
And
Since I
of
probably
course,
heard it.
I'm going to jam it straight into the leech.
Yeah, the thing kind of makes it like a squeezing, like a sound of escaping air, and it lets go of his hand and just like sinks and then wriggles back into the flesh pile. The man's hand has hundreds of like tiny little scratches all over it, and it's bleeding from each of them.
Well, first of all, I'll usher him to get up the wall before any more of them appear.
He does so without any hesitation.
And I will hurry after him.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to climb up again just like you did before. Lucinda, are you going to leap across on your hellhound's back or try and teleport? Or
Yes. She is going to attempt to leap across.
I think, what do you want to roll for this? Forceful? Quick? Careful?
I think careful would work. Do I have careful? Yeah, I've got 1 in careful.
Okay, 1 dice. You can have a second dice if you want to take stress.
Nope. That is the wrong thing. I accidentally put in a wrong ring. Give me a sec.
Are you teleporting or just like leaping?
I am leaping across.
Yeah, so you jump on Tango's back. Tango circles back once or twice, not too keen about this. But in the end, he's obedient and leaps across with grace, and absolutely no mistakes are made whatsoever. Lands perfectly on the opposite side. One of the civilians who was over there kind of takes fright of this rather giant hellhound with flaming eyes jumping across at them. It drops their torch they were holding into the pit below, where it extinguishes. But
Oh, I'm sorry. She may look intimidating, but I swear she's a sweetheart.
Whatever you say, miss. They say somewhat reluctantly. Like they reach out to pat Tango in the face.
I would say that Tango kind of pursed. I don't know if that's like...
But it's like a fiery gurgle kind of sound.
Kinda, yeah. Just like kind of purrs. I don't know what to call it for a dog, but makes very happy sounds.
Yeah, which is also still kind of disturbing. And the person's kind of like, oh, okay, good doggy. So you're all across the pit now. Who's taking lead down the passage?
I mean, if no one else is, Croark will, but also I'm not going to stop anybody if they want to step in front of me.
The Phoenix gestures after you.
That's fine. I'm sneaky anyways.
That's the approach you want to take, Sneaky.
Yeah. Get low and quiet.
Okay, give me a roll. Yes, so the passage is quite well constructed, and that becomes more obvious the further you go along. You can see signs that something heavy has been like dragged along the ground here. You can see like little footprints that are almost like reptilian claws or paws. And there's been a lot of them, and they must be creatures that are not much larger than yourself, judging by the size of these marks and the depth of them. And the smell of that kind of sulfur incense gets stronger, and you enter a chamber which has been constructed and it's rectangular in shape, and there's like a large shrine on the far wall. So it's like a circular sort of podium, and then on top of that is an altar, and it looks to be the shape of a dragon. This stone altar that's been set in the center, but it's not very large in size. I mean, it's not much bigger than you, and there's definitely signs that incense and things have been burnt all around the edges of this chamber.
No signs of anything other than us.
Doesn't look like anything living around here, no. You can see the dried blood on the podium itself.
Well, that looks fun. What's happened here?
Light danger.
Yes, light danger indeed, thank you.
Is there another passageway continuing on, or?
There are passageways in 8 different directions at 3 different heights. Ground level, sort of head height, and then higher up. So there's lots of passages. Each of them are excellent size for a goblin, such as yourself, to walk through.
Well, I think it's safe to say this is somebody else's home that we've stumbled into. Could be other goblins, could be even kobolds.
Could be anything. Well, I know it's not my kind because we don't live in places like this. But could be anything.
Do we still have like the regular folks with us, or did they stay behind?
No, they're tagging along.
Oh, okay.
The older man had the leech in his hand. He's like pulled off some clothing and wrapped it around his hand to try and stem the bleeding.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna approach, kind of stealthily approach the altar and see what I can see about it.
So it's a fairly crudely carved altar. It's very clearly of a dragon of some sort standing on its hind legs. And they've definitely like bled out people right in front of this altar.
I'm assuming it bears a resemblance to the dragon face in the sky earlier today.
I don't know how experienced your guy is with dragons. I mean, But yes,
Probably not, like,
definitely,
personally.
definitely has a passing resemblance, yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Are we gonna be like dragon racist because of this? Like, all dragons look the same.
I can't say I've met many dragons to compare.
Yeah, me neither. So it's just crude stone. There's no like nothing shiny or valuable.
There's nothing a shiny valuable lying around it, no. There's a lot of kind of burnt incense sticks. There's like little yellow rocks sort of like smudged into the altar as well.
Yellow rocks?
Yeah, that's the sulfur.
Oh.
You said earlier we could smell incense, didn't you?
Yes.
Even amongst all the rotting corpses.
Yes.
Someone's definitely just been here.
Not long ago.
I take it there's no obvious exits from here.
Well,
Be
there's
nice if
8
there's,
different directions at 3 different levels, so there's 24 exits.
Be nice if there was a staircase just to the surface.
No brightly lit, clear exit sign.
No, there's no lights coming from any of them. They're all
Fire
like dark
escape.
passages.
I have a crazy idea, but I'm gonna wait for everyone to if they have any other idea.
I mean, I definitely don't have any idea other than like picking a tunnel and just walking down it, but that's just me.
Yeah, and you could do that, or I mean, you could spend time like studying and try to determine which one's been the most used or most likely to lead up.
I was gonna talk to the yellow rocks.
Or you could do that, yeah.
Yeah, Krark's going to stealthily desecrate this stone. Like he's gonna try to like, being as quiet as possible. He just doesn't want to like tip it over and make a loud crash, but he does want to like chip away at it and.
So, Delphina, do you want to go into your commune and ask the environment to tell you?
Yes, I want to ask it whose altar is this?
Yeah, so you close your eyes and try to let your mind reach out to the area around you, and you can feel the heaviness and the coldness and the ancientness of the rock around you. And then you can feel something older, more vibrant, hotter, breathing, alive. You can see a pair of large yellow eyes, and then more, and another set, and another set, and another set. Dozens of little pairs of yellow eyes all around you, chanting and chittering, and they know you're there. Intruder, they shout. Intruder, intruder.
I think they think we're intruders.
Wait, do you know you gotta talk to rocks too? I mean,
Oh wait, is this a rocks thing?
yeah. So
Sorry,
we're
I
in trouble.
zoned out. No, I can't speak to rocks.
Okay, I go. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We gotta go. We gotta go.
The rest of you can all hear this skittering, crawling, scratching sound from all of the tunnels around you.
Right. Well, if stealth is already blown out the window, then yeah, Krark's gonna kick the statue over.
Guess you don't
You're
have
all
statue.
forceful for that.
I mean, yeah, I'll go ahead and roll it, but
So you don't have any, so it's 2 in the worst job.
yeah, and I'll fuck it. I'll go ahead and take another stress. I don't care.
Wait, I stop him.
No, never mind.
I mean, you don't need to stop him because he failed.
Yeah.
I guess like he raises one foot, puts it as hard as he can, and hurts his ankle. Take a harm, sorry.
Take a pain.
That's what harm is called now. Pain.
Yeah, I like that.
I got another
Take a
system.
pain.
I got another system, and it's like pain, wound, stress. You do.
Green one, I'm gonna have to teach you.
Teach me what? How to desecrate an altar? Either way, we need to get out now.
Yes, we do.
And the altar's a
So-
lot heavier than it looks. Yes, you hear the skittering, scratching coming from all directions, and it's getting louder.
Now, this is just my intuition, but I say we go in the one opposite from we came in. Anyone with me?
I'm
Yeah.
fully with you,
Yeah,
actually.
let's go, yeah.
I mean, if you're all making a run for it, do you want to roll with quick?
Oh, yes, please.
Well, that's a fail.
4.
Delphina and Croark are going to run. Just as you are like getting into the passageway, you can see these yellow eyes appearing in all the other passages around you, but you manage to like flee into that passageway before they get in there.
Lucinda is definitely following this.
Yeah, you want to roll with quick then.
Okay, quick. How much do I have in quick again? 2d6. Fuck yeah.
I guess you jump on Tango and like leap over the others who are quite small and sprint ahead of them at full speed. Or maybe you
Oh,
teleport past them.
Elias is looking around to check if all the civilians have made it out and then doesn't realise he's the last one in.
Yeah, you're like, come on guys, and they're like already pushing past you. Are you taking a dice to roll another one, or a stress, sorry, roll another one? Or are you going to stick with that?
I guess maybe I should roll another one. Yes, I'll take that stress.
Yes, so they push past you and put you basically to the back of the queue. And just as you're like, about to go there, one of the little kobolds leaps in front of you. Its bright, flaring yellow eyes, its dark red skin, its flapping little wings, and it hisses at you like a reptile. But it's just one that's right in front of you. And it's about the size of Croark. It's about 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Elias. Oh, sorry. Oh,
Go ahead.
Right, so Elias just, like, brandishes the torch in its face and tries to shove past it.
It seems completely unfazed by the fire.
Oh.
But do you want to roll forceful if you're going to charge past it?
I'm not doing too well here.
Do you want another stress?
I will take another one, yeah. Ah.
Yes, you brandish the torch and try to use it to kind of push past it, but it's completely unfazed and it lets you just sink the flame against it. It seems to enjoy it almost. And as you try to push past it, 3 more of them leap out from the passages around you, jumping onto your back and sinking their claws and their fangs into you. You're going to take another harm.
I'm not in too good a situation right off the bat.
Can I take my dagger and throw it at one of the kobolds that's attacking him?
Sure, you just turn around and just go, wheat.
Yeah.
Okay, so quick.
I mean, hoping backstab maybe if that's all at all possible, but hopefully that they're focusing on him. Maybe.
I don't think you could backstab him if you're throwing at them and they're on him already.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, but that's
a
Jesus.
crit, so you can mark that. Yes.
Sweet.
So you throw that, and the one that was blocking his path, you just like the dagger just like sticks into the back of its skull. Its eyes just kind of like cross, and then it falls forward flat on the ground.
Yeah, and then I just shout, "Hey, get off him! Pick on somebody your own size."
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if I can try to just charge forward, like, and knock them into the wall, like, as I try and go through the tunnel.
Okay, so that sounds like forceful again, because you're just... charging.
I think just knocking them off me would be ideal, but I'm feeling like
This is like my game on Sunday. Like, nobody could get a fucking win with the rules.
Except for me.
Except for you, yeah.
I'm either win or no, and there's no in between.
I think
Like,
this is
I either fully get it or I either fully don't.
Yeah. So, yeah, Birds, what do you want to do?
I guess even though I'm loading up on stress so heavily, I need to take another go. And I failed again.
Oh no!
What is
Jesus.
going on?
It's absolutely calm.
Despite the one in front of you being killed, you take another harm as two more of them jump on your back and pin you on the ground, and they start sticking their fangs into you and raking across your back with their claws.
Okay, this simply will not do. Yeah.
He's just like writhing around trying to throw them off, like crying out in pain.
Try to see if I can grab my dagger back from the one I already killed, and then slash at the others with my cutlass.
So you're just running towards them, yanking the dagger out of one skull, pulling out your cutlass and swiping at them.
Yeah. And I'll be flashy about it too, because I'd rather take the attention away from poor Elias.
Sure, so yelling, making noise, try to pull them off
Yeah.
them. Okay, so give me a flashy roll.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm already at 3 stress, but fuck it, I'll take another one. All right, maybe
Oh
I
my
shouldn't
God.
have. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything about me.
You
only-
charge into the room, yelling, "Come on, you bastards!" Slinging the sword around, and they all like flutter back with their wings and fly just out of arm's reach. They pull you more into the center of the room, away from the entrance, and then they leap on you. Dozens of them. Take 2 harm.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh fuck. All right. You said 2 harm?
2 harm.
Oh boy. All right, 1 more and I take an injury.
Delphina, you're pulling out your hammer and sickle.
Yes, and I'm gonna charge in there and hit something in the head.
Yes, you
Or
charge
hit
in.
one of the kobold.
You charge in. Elias is kind of on the floor, all bloodied, and his robe's all torn. You can see Kroark is like pulled into the room, and he's just assailed by like 12 of the things.
Alright, I just go over there. Ah!
You're like leaping in the air, hammer and sickle up in the
Yep.
into the fray.
Yes.
Soviet anthem playing in the background.
Might as well.
For the motherland.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds like a forceful.
What is wrong with you guys? You guys are cursing me now.
This is like opposite of when I just kept on rolling really well for no goddamn reason during Delta Green.
Yeah, so you leap into the air like, for the motherland! You land on one, you sink your sickle into its brain, killing it instantly, and the one beside it turns and hisses and just leaps on you, and you're now involved in deep hand-to-hand combat with 2 of them. You're going to take a harm. Lucinda, you're standing in the passageway on the back of, well, not in the back of because it'd be too small, but beside your hellhound. The civilians, terrified, look at behind what's happening and they say, "They're done for, run for it," and then try to push past you in the passageway.
Because of that, she goes, "Hey, do you mind if we shrink a little?" And if Tango Mango is up to it, Tango Mango will shrink into their puppy size.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
They look like a puppy. I sent in reference images to the group into the fancy chat. And she picks up Tango Mango and she starts running as well.
Away from the chamber?
Yeah.
So the civilians are like, "Run for it, they're done for," and you're like, "Yep." Pick up the Tolkien run.
I'm not wanting to die.
Yes, you flee out of the passageway with the civilians, and you run and you run and you run, and you definitely feel like the ground is actually sloping upwards. And it twists around and spirals, and you start to feel hopeful that this is the way out. And you can hear the cries of the sounds of fighting, and the snarling and the hissing and the yelps of pain echoing in the distance behind you.
And is it the way out?
Well, we'll find out in a minute.
Hmm.
So you guys in this chamber.
Yeah, I think I'm fighting for my gosh darn life right now. And just continuing the screaming and the swinging of my sword and hoping to God that I can kill 12 in one strike.
Now, you used to have gear and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, I do have 6 uses of adventuring gear.
So,
And 2 for tools, I guess.
yeah, so I mean, you can be inventive with that to try and
I
even the
completely
odds.
forgot. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Oh,
You can also flashback to say, earlier on, I used this stuff to prepare this thing for just such a situation.
Well, I would like to flash back to a time where I came up with a brilliant plan of creating a grenade of sorts, a black powder, simple black powder like fuse grenade, and was like hoping to use it to scare and intimidate my way onto a boat or deal with a bunch of pursuing enemies.
I mean, given your background, that doesn't seem outside the realms of possibility, yeah?
Okay, in that case, yeah, I would like to brandish my little bomb and quickly take out a flint and steel and light it, and then just kind of chuck it into the room.
Okay, so it's not unlikely, but, it's very convenient for you, so take a stress
Fair.
for the flashback, and then mark off one of your gear for, like, the item. Or supplies, or whatever I've called it.
Adventuring gear?
Yeah.
Sure.
Actually, let me check a second. What have I called this? Tools, it won't be a tool. A call item, it's not that. Yeah, so adventuring gear. Yeah, so I imagine you're kind of like rolling away from them, reaching under your jacket, pulling out the little grenade and the flint.
Yeah. Just real quick, strike the flint and steel, and then once it starts to fizz, I just like chuck it, and then like wherever I'm at, just curl into a ball and hold my head and hope to God I survive.
Are you yelling to let anyone else know that you're throwing a grenade?
I'm yelling, whether it's a warning or not, probably not.
So what do you yell?
just just chucking it in. Yeah.
Definitely sounds like a forceful thing.
Okay. Not so good with that.
I mean, you could argue flashy if you wanted.
Sure.
But
If you let me flashy.
Well, I mean, you got it for it anyway, so.
Okay, that works.
Okay, I'm going to say Elias and Delphina. Unless you like notice what he's doing and duck out of the way, you're going to take harm.
I think with the number that were like grabbing onto Elias, he'd probably be too busy trying to get them off.
Well, he actually pulled them off you. You were just kind of left there bloody.
Oh wait, all of them? Jeez.
Yes, because they failed the roll.
Yeah, they switched from attacking you to dragging me into the room and stabbing me.
Right, I thought it was only going to be some of them.
No, he was too successful. That was his right. Fail.
Then yeah, assuming that he's just kind of like trying to like regain his composure on the ground, I think he would probably realise, oh, you've thrown something dangerous, and try to leap aside.
Okay, so you can roll a quick, I think, for that. What about you, Delphina? Are you too preoccupied? Or would you notice?
Well, was it? Well, I thought I was on top. I was trying to get those creatures off of him. Don't I hear the and all that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think you could see the fizz, you would hear it, and you're going to hear him yelling, screaming as well. So, yeah, if you want to give me a quick roll as well. Birds, what are you doing?
Failing everything, apparently.
Oh dear God!
I think I can take like one more stress, so I'm gonna give it a go.
Your second ones are always good, though. Yeah, okay, so you're going to, like...
Yeah!
Yeah, so you're going to... You hear the yelling, you're like, oh, that's not good. And you crawl quickly into the passageway to shield yourself. Delphina, you hear the tss, you see the sparks and the fuse. You instantly recognize what that is. And I guess you can like roll away into the same passageway out of the way of the blast.
Suicide rock! Because they use rocks to blow up. You know what I mean.
Croark, I mean, yeah, he lights it successfully. It's going to go off, it's going to explode. You decided to curl up and hope for the best rather than actually taking cover. So it's going to explode, obliterate. It's going to send these creatures flying, and it's the concussive force splattering them against the walls that kills them. It's not the flame or anything itself. But you're going to take a harm in doing so.
And I take an injury. Because that last harm is the red injury box.
Yeah, if you go down your character sheet a couple of pages, you'll see injury conditions. You can like pick one of those to apply. And then you reset your harm.
Yeah, broken, fractured bone seems appropriate for this. I probably also get like pushed across the ground and then slammed against the cave wall. Or concussion.
And at that moment, Lucinda, you hear the sound of the explosion deep in the chamber behind you.
I'll take concussion.
That makes sense. After the explosion, Lucinda, the civilians around you just like jump on lie down on the floor, hands over their heads. Like, no, not again. They're waiting for the earthquake to come.
Oh, it'll be alright. There won't be another earthquake. Come on, like, we can keep on moving. You're not gonna get anywhere if you don't keep on moving, you know?
Are you sure? The world's not going to open up and swallow us?
I mean, it hasn't before.
They kind of look at each other for a second, like, you know what? She's right. Why are we so
And
worried?
if it hasn't before, and here's the thing: in all the years of the history of our people of this land, has it happened before? No. So what's the likelihood of it happening ever?
Yeah, the young man stands up. You know what? You're right. We shouldn't be so pessimistic. The world's a wonderful place. Beautiful things are here. And then a rock falls from the
exactly.
ceiling and crushes him.
Okay,
Why
I
would
want
you
to go
do
moving now.
Why would you do that?
The woman screams and picks up the torch and flees as fast as her feet will carry her.
Okay, Teko, can you enlarge, please? Thank you. People can ride on my hellhound's back, and you will get to safety quickly.
Well, not this passage because it's like 3 feet high.
All right, never mind.
Yeah,
That never happened.
And have it drag behind.
But you flee. I mean, if you're following them, let's say they'll flee as fast as you can, and eventually you'll feel the fresh air coming from the entrance in front of you. And after a few more twists and turns and corners, you can see it daylight at the entrance.
Okay, we're almost there. Everyone, quickly now.
The woman who's out in front, panting, breathing heavily. Yes, finally, we're here. She breaches the entrance, stands outside and stops, and like leans over, holding her hands on her knees. panting, and she turns around and she waves back to you all. And then something large with wings swoops out the sky, picks her up and carries her off, and you just hear a scream as she disappears into the distance.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Okay,
This world is a
And-
beautiful place. There's so many beautiful things in it. Fucking 2 deaths in the matter of like seconds.
The rest of the civilians stop stone cold. Well, the two remaining stop stone cold in their tracks.
I guess if you think of it, a lot more of them died in the big wave.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The younger girl turns to you, Lucinda. Are we going to be safe going out there?
I don't know.
The old man with the bloody lump all scratched and on his hand, he lets out a yelp of pain, falls to his knees, clutching the hand.
Are you
Ah!
okay?
It hurts. There's something eating it inside.
Can I have a look at your hand, please?
You pull off the bloody rag and you can see dozens of little maggot creatures like squirming under the skin of his hand, eating the flesh from the inside.
Jesus Christ.
Since when did you have that?
That thing that bit me in the pit. It hurts. Cut it off, cut it off.
Okay. And out of her finely ordained bag, she pulls out a very large knife. Are you sure you want me to do this?
No, do it now, do it now. And he sticks his hand out on the rock in front of you.
And she grabs a bit of scrap bag fabric from her bag and goes, "I'm gonna quickly do a tourniquet so that you don't lose too much blood." And she ties it.
No.
I'm trying to prevent you from dying. Let me do a tourniquet.
He throws
and
up and you can see in the vomit there's more maggots wriggling around.
This is the fucking like cello lesbian movie that I can't remember the name of. It's that fucking movie. Okay, cutting the hand off, and she cuts the hand off.
And he goes pale and passes out from the pain.
I told you, tourniquets.
You guys are down there in the passage post-explosion. Splattered, flattened bodies of kobolds all around you. And a very covered in black suit from the explosion goblin.
Just ears ringing, stumbling to my feet.
Yeah, nauseous, head spinning.
Oh, okay. Gotta get out of here, I think.
You can't fumble your way into the passage and you see Elias and Delphina. Elias, his back all bloody and shredded.
Try to like shake them both awake.
Well, they're both
Hey,
awake,
come on,
yeah.
we gotta go.
Elias is like struggling to get to his feet, leaning against the wall. Did you get them all?
I got most of them. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm guessing like what yours would be ringing, even though we weren't like directly involved in the blast.
Oh yeah, definitely something else.
I mean, yeah, I detonated a bomb in the middle of a cave. Yeah, we are
Yes.
definitely ears ringing.
You're being like womp 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 womp.
There's like dust coming down from the ceiling.
Yes, the cavern like trembles and shakes. Dust comes from the ceiling. Little rocks kind of fall by the side.
Elias is yelling without realizing like Right, we'd better get out of here. And just kind of like staggering along, like using the wall as support.
Yeah, I mean, Delphina, you're okay. You're kind of like just running along. Those two are just really pulling themselves along the passageway.
How big is this hall?
It's like goblin sized, kobold sized, so it's definitely big enough for you. Elias is kind of like on his hands and knees, almost crawling. The passage is quite long. It winds around. And you don't see any sign of these civilians until you come across this large stone that's fallen down in this opened cavern or opened room, and you can see the arms and legs of the young man kind of just like sticking out from the bottom of it, and there's blood splatter all around.
Well, nothing I can do about that. Keep on going.
Those.
And then you come across Lucinda standing there with Tango, the young woman who's like curled up in the corner, rocking backwards and forwards, muttering to herself. And what looks like the old man, his hand cut off, blood and vomit all around him.
Okay.
Yeah, this happened. He was, he was begging me to, and she looks like she's going to have a panic attack.
Oh no, poor you.
Oh yeah, sure. Now she takes the. Now she accepts the gravity of the situation. Okay.
There's, I just cut a man's hand off.
Elias scrambles at his body, like, is he still alive?
Yeah.
He's checking for pulse.
Still alive.
You turn him over to check for a pulse, and his eyes just open suddenly, and he hurls like blood and vomit at you out of his mouth, and it's filled with like lots of wriggling little worms.
Oh yeah, no, this guy's a goner.
Do you want to take my knife?
Don't need it.
What are you doing, Delphina?
Oh, this guy's a goner, ain't he?
I think that's a consensus, yeah.
All right,
I
he's
mean,
gonna give him an honorable death.
Healthy people, yeah, healthy people don't normally vomit up blood and maggots.
True.
Elias is like trying to brush off all of the ones that have got on him and stamp on the ground to kill as many as possible. These aren't regular flies. What on earth is that? What's down there?
The whole structure, cave, rumbles and shakes. And it sounds almost like something deep and large is waking up from below.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, we should probably get out of the cave.
Elias is just realizing, looking around. Wait, where's the woman? We had another.
No one says anything. They'll just look at each other.
Yeah, just.
I mean, Clark probably didn't even realize there was like, other people. To be fair.
The young woman is curled up in the corner, rocking backwards, forwards, saying, "It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world."
Honey, sweetheart, it's not the end of the world. The earth hasn't opened up.
And then the rumbling starts again, and it's like,
Oh my god, why does this happen whenever I speak?
the ground starts to crack and split. The walls start to crumble. Rocks dribble down from everywhere.
Yeah, Croc's gonna take a quick moment to smack the young woman upside the head, like, get yourself together, let's go. And then literally walks up to Lucinda and also just smacks her upside the head, like, come on, Focus.
How the hell did
Stop
you
panicking.
reach?
Yeah, did you jump and slap them?
Absolutely.
You drag her down
Lucinda is 5'11".
Yeah. Bend down. Pull them to where they bend down. Smack them as soon as they're in range. Like, stop panicking. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, just don't smack me again.
Fucking stop panicking. Let's go.
Did one of you give the old man mercy already?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's dead already. I mean,
He's
yeah,
like
no,
choking
yeah.
and coughing and spluttering. He rolls over on his stomach and like pushes himself up a bit and leans backwards and goes, ah!
And Elias
Yeah,
just
no, survival of the
Good
fittest, he's
knowing
dead.
you, bye.
yeah, Elias just draws a short sword and goes, "Sorry, old man," and then stabs him through the throat. Just it plunges straight downwards.
You pull back the blade covered in blood and there's a couple of worms stuck to the blade.
And he like reflexively slams it too hard against the wall to try and like, clear them off.
The wall like splits and cracks and rocks start to dribble down the side. And then you hear screeching of creatures. Dozens of them, hundreds of them perhaps, from the sky outside.
Just poke my head out the cave entrance and see what I see.
Almost like a cloud. The swarm is so thick. They kind of look like larger, pale blue, skinnier versions of the kobolds, and they're swarming around in a massive cloud around the top of what you can now see to be a large mound of just stones. I wouldn't describe it as a mountain. It's not that big, but yes.
Well, alright, that's just not cool.
Yeah. Far from cool.
Outside of the growing mound, or the mound of dirt and the cloud of the swarm of flying kobolds, is there anything else that I can... Any other, hopefully, things that we can take shelter or hide from the swarm?
So it's a kind of foothills, low-lying valley kind of area. You can see the river or streams. You can see forests like scattered off to the north. In the distance, you can see like the road, and you can see like people on it.
Lucinda looked at that and is just like, you have for a bit of teleportation?
I feel like it might be our only option at this point. Can your dog actually do that?
Yes.
And it can take all of us?
We can certainly try.
The roar sounds from the earth below again, and the whole cave shakes. The young woman just goes, "It's coming. It's coming."
What's coming?
The old one, Zindriel.
Old? How old are we talking?
It's the end of the world. And she runs out of the cave.
Okay, everyone grab onto Tango Mango and yeah, we'll go from there.
Swear to God, if this thing doesn't actually work like it's supposed to.
She's not a machine.
Obviously, machines usually work.
Damn.
And Lucinda slaps her.
Her time to slap you.
Oh.
Oh, slap me? I thought you said
Yeah.
slap her.
Yeah, slap him. Yeah, slap him.
Alright, slap Lucinda back. Get the fucking
Just-
dog to teleport.
Okay! Tango, think you can get to the road?
Yeah, the dog larges up in size once more to accommodate you all. It like looks towards the entrance and lowers its head as if it's sizing up the distance. You want to roll your quick for me?
Okay. Please fucking work.
You want to take a stress and roll another dice?
Yeah, I'm rolling another fucking dice.
I can't believe how many fails there are. It's just insane.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
You can keep doing it. You can keep taking stress and
No.
keep rolling dice.
I'm gonna
very stressful situation.
look. I'm gonna try one more time. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna roll my actual physical dice. I am rolling my actual. I am rolling my actual physical dice because this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit.
This is exactly what it was like on Sunday. That's crazy.
Oh shit! Where did my dice go?
Every dice is
Okay.
a 1. End of the
Oh,
world.
are you fucking with me?
Take a picture of it.
Yes. So
Oh my! No! Pause! Are you fucking with me? After two, you treat me like this in reality? Are you fucking with me?
it's the end of the world.
No!
Yeah.
Shut
so
up!
Your
Shut
hellhound.
up!
Your
Shut
hellhound
up! I am
sizes up the
upset.
distance.
Shush! I am upset. Let me send in this photo so you can see why I'm upset. It's not one. I'm telling you that as much. But oh my god, I'm sorry to fucking derail this, but oh my god.
Yeah. So the hellhound like sizes up, starts to flicker like it's going to teleport,
This game.
and then it fazzles and frizzles. And the magical energy around it just starts sparking and turning to fire. The whole place rumbles and erupts. An explosion from underneath sends you all flying outwards. 10, 20 feet in the air, across into the valley, down onto the slope and tumbling down into the grass below. You'll take a harm. This massive "Rah!" and this huge red dragon bursts
Wait, we all
forth
take
from
a
the
har-
ground, flies up into the air and stretches out its massive wings and beats them. And it's like a sonic boom with the concussive force of the air. Sorry, Glenn, what'd you ask?
I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad.
Sorry, Glenn, did you ask me something?
Yeah, do we all take a harm?
You'll take 1 harm, yes.
I am so incredibly mad. What the fuck?
There's so many fails.
And they were my lesbian dice.
I love
Not
you.
just any dice, my lesbian dice.
You lied to me, you bastard. Right, I'm going to try something now.
Am I lying about my sexuality too?
Wow, look, I also failed.
This is the opposite. This is the opposite of what was
It
happening
is
during
all
the
the
Delta
passes.
Green finale, where I just kept on rolling really good for no reason.
You used all of the 4 pluses.
Yeah, they're all gone.
I know,
now.
I'm
That's
mad.
all the success.
Yeah. Well, all right. There we go.
So this massive red dragon erupts from the ground, beats its wings once, deafening everyone around it. You can see and hear the panic from the people in the distance on the road. And this thing beats its wings again and again and begins to rise into the sky. And it lets out this awesome bellowing roar, and this massive gout of flame just erupts from its mouth and chars all the trees around you. And then it takes off into the sky, followed by this massive swarm of lesser dragons. And it flies off to the east.
Sorry, I'm still mad.
And that's today's session.
Yeah, Krog's just gonna stare at the dragon and just like panting really hard, and it's just like, yeah, you better run.
You didn't do anything!
Today sucked.
I need a drink.
I mean, I could say I did nothing, but they fought the, I've already forgot what they were called. Kobolds?
The kobolds. Yeah.
Kobolds, yeah. I also did crit on one of my
Yes.
checks. So what does that do again?
So the one that you critted on, you can get an extra dot in that one.
Woo! That's 3 in quick, baby. Cool. I mean, that's great.
I don't think anyone got the chance to explain the answer to any of their character questions to the other characters.
I think
God, no.
I
We-
can
we
answer.
didn't even introduce.
No, we didn't
introduce
introduce
Taylor.
each other to each other's characters to each other.
No,
Yeah.
Makes it funnier.
Sorry, Bird, what you saying?
I can answer the question, when did you fail? And it's this entire session.
Yeah. This will forever be known as the session when no one won.
I mean, I won. I critted on one. After that, though, immediately after that, that's when everybody started to fuck up.
I am so mad that even my real life dice are just like, no. Let me actually roll another dice. Then I got a 6. What the hell?
It just wasn't meant to be.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm mad.
Nope, definitely could not tell.
I'm too hot and sexy to fail. Come on.
Did anyone take so much stress they took a trauma? No.
No, almost did though.
Yeah, I was one away from it.
I
Jesus.
still am one away from it. I did take an injury though, so that was fun.
And look, I used a stress.
What I'm gonna do to combat this anger is get another tattoo.
Dang, look what you done did, Dark.
Dog, you're making me injure my body on purpose.
I did not cause your dice to fail. That's all on you.
Dog, I don't believe you.
You brought your bad luck with you.
I don't believe you.
I don't know what you were doing beforehand to deserve it, but that's the universe.
I don't trust you. This is okay. I have a theory. It's all because of the tonsillitis.
Sorry, are you
All these
blaming
passes.
tonsillitis for your bad luck?
I have tonsillitis.
Sure, but you're blaming that? Okay, yeah, checks out.
I mean, tonsils are basically the lucky rabbit foot of the foot.
Yeah, I keep somebody's tonsils on a necklace all the time.
Exactly.
But yeah, my Sunday
I
game I
am
just did there had like all fails as well. It was terrible.
Oh my god, what is... Dog, why?
It just wasn't meant to
I
be.
don't know what you're on about. You're fine. You took like one injury or one harm or something.
Yeah. What are you? You
Arm.
you cut one dude's arm off and then had a fucking panic attack because poor you.
Look,
Never
I'm
mind the
just
guy
an-
that was definitely dying of the
look.
parasites.
Look, I'm just an eldritch sugar baby, okay?
Yeah, all the more reason not to pity you.
Could be worse, could be a Nepo baby, aka sorcerer.
Yes, but that was
that's
tonight's
fine.
session.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good session.
That went like 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
I expected at least a little bit of a, just slow increase, but no, fuck it. Immediately end of the world.
It was.
This is the start of season 2 of Vox Machina.
It was like immediately end of the world, right? But even before that, we were getting destroyed. Just by like a few kobolds. I mean, I was getting destroyed by them.
Yeah, you specifically were getting destroyed.
Yeah.
That was all down to because you failed one roll where you failed to get out of there because of the kobold blocking your path. If you'd got past that, like none of the other things ever would have happened.
Okay, there's
re-roll
one thing
that.
we should sort out. There's one thing we should sort out. How far can Emperor Tagamango teleport?
I mean, you can make a line of sight, maybe.
I mean, I'm sure.
Because I could just say, "Oh, I teleport back to location that isn't anywhere near," and that would break the game.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have broke the game, but then you also made it he could change size to accommodate everybody.
Yeah, but like, I made it so that
But you still have to, I mean, you can say that's right, but you still have to make the roll. If you fail the roll,
that's
then
true.
you don't get to do it, or you teleport into a rock face or something like that, do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it because
No,
there's
but
still a
with-
good chance you're not going to make it.
Even
Yeah, but
if
with the
Wait.
size, I put rules in like the biggest
so
Tagamango
defined it,
goes with
yeah.
like. Yeah, like there needs to be rules set in place for teleportation.
Yeah, I mean, it opens up some interesting things later on as well, but I'm okay with it because you still have to roll for it, so there's still a chance of failure.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
fine.
I'm fully convinced Emperor Tango Mango can't teleport, and y'all just been lying.
so,
Because this
Even
fucking dog is damn useless.
I love
even
the Delphina jumping in, hammer and sickle. It's stupid.
like even if you succeed with the teleport roll, if it's not a 6, you might just leave us all behind.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was fully expecting that to happen, like just poof, and then like the dog
Oh, you
disappears
teleport there, and then the room's full of like monsters or something like that.
or
Yeah,
something like that.
Four
Yeah.
and, 4 and 5
It's like
should be
partial
like
succession.
just one person. But if it's 6,
Well, it'll be
like-
situational. It depends what's kind of fitting for the moment.
yeah, if
Yeah.
it's like chill and nothing's much is happening, then I don't think I should have to roll for teleportation.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
when it's like stress,
yeah, if it's like if it's you only do it like if the risk of failure is interesting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you're
You
going
guys have a
into
good one.
sorry, see you later, mate. If you're going to like a grain mill in town for no reason, I mean that's not interesting. So yeah, sure you do it.
rip Glim, you would have loved WAP.
We legitimately have no reason to believe that your dog can actually teleport.
Even
Yeah,
though they
it's
did,
just like shit.
even though they did teleport like beginning of the session.
Nah, Croc didn't see that shit.
The dog
Croc's
teleported, but
convinced
they
your
were in it.
dog's sick.
Yeah, they were different bit.
Yeah, Croc's convinced your dog doesn't teleport and is dreadfully sick.
This woman's crazy.
This bitch crazy.
What is it with me and your games and playing crazy people?
I'm pretty sure it's just you.
And also, like, this is the second time in a game where I've cut off a man's hand.
Again, that's you.
Yeah, I feel like you know,
What's the
2
common
games in a
denominator there?
row, the same things happen. Yeah, I feel like the common denominator is crazy. I mean, I can't say
Yeah.
nothing either. I'm dreadfully unhinged as well, but like Jesus, making
Look.
me look sane.
Look, I just have, even though I'm not male, I'm not female, I still have that feminine rage. When I say that, I should probably read out what I wanted to do to someone once. If I can find it, and it made my friend go, "You need mental help."
Was that okay, you guys then? Your system and everything okay
Yeah,
for you?
that was a very good. That was a very good first session.
Yeah, that was fun.
Even though I don't think it has more failings than the other system, it feels like it has more failings than the other system.
Oh, yeah.
All you need is a 4. It's a 50-50 on one dice.
Yeah.
know what I
Look,
mean?
that's the only thing I would say about this system. Too many failings.
That's
Nah,
totally your own
that was
luck,
just
man.
poor. Yeah,
'Cause
that was just poor luck.
like you should not be feeling that. With 2 dice, you should be getting a partial success at least.
Yeah, and like every single roll I did there, it was like 2 dice because it's forceful, and then I was rolling another one from the stress,
was
and
all-
still failing
All
everything.
your
Yeah.
stress dice were once. Apart from
Yeah,
no,
I
I
feel
feel like
like-
you got 2 6s like on the second roll.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There was a lot of fails in that, but I feel like that was just pure RNGesus, like just fucking us over.
I am gonna fight the dice gods.
Good luck. Anyways, that was fun. Can't wait to see next time.
Oh, same.
It's a session, and I'd probably best head off there.
Yeah, me too, man. Okay, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, see ya.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you for this. Bye.